Hi and welcome. My name is Claudia Wolf. This is my presentation on literacy development research teaching marginalized readers. The topic that I chose is reading disabilities. Reading disability is a condition that causes difficulty in reading, impacting students' performance across all subjects. Some of the topics that I will be highlighting in my introduction are the challenges that the teachers face, the importance of addressing reading disabilities, a call for action, and the purpose of this research and why I chose this topic. So some of the challenges that teachers face nowadays, including myself, due to reading disabilities, are low student engagement. This is due to the student might feel embarrassed or lacks the confidence to participate in class discussions or in any task given. And that could be because they know that they can't read or they're not at the reading level that their peers are. Another challenge that we face as teachers is the lack of resources and training to support students effectively. Most of the time, well, not most of the time, every year we get students. I speak for myself. I have students right now that are reading at a first grade level, and I feel that we are not properly trained to go and teach the basic skills like phonics and decoding sounds. I've never taught a low grade level, so regardless, I mean, we don't have the resources, we don't have the training that we need in order to help the students that are very, very low in reading. Some of them are labeled as non-readers. Another challenge that we face as teachers is the no funds available answer. This is due to budget constraints in schools, and their answer is most of the time there are no funds. There are no funds for trainings. There are no funds for resources. So these are some of the challenges that we face as teachers. The importance of addressing reading disabilities is because reading is a foundation for success in all content areas. In other words, if the student does not know how to read, more than likely they will also struggle in math and in science due to the fact that they can't read. They're not able to read the information provided to them. They're not able to read a worksheet, a textbook. It's also important to address this students' disabilities in reading, because students that struggle with reading risks falling behind academically. And what I have seen is, as the student moves from kinder to first to second, and they're supposed to be reading a certain amount of words per minute. By the time they get to fourth grade, I teach fourth grade, and by the time they get to fourth grade, the gap is pretty big in their academic skills when they don't know how to read. So that's why it's important to target and address this reading disabilities at an early age. Also, I think that it's a call for action, and that educators need tools, they need resources, they need the proper training to address all these reading challenges that our students are facing. I believe that with the proper support, we can help students overcome difficulties and help them build their confidence and hopefully succeed, be successful academically. The purpose The purpose of this research and why I chose reading disabilities as my topic is, of course, most and foremost my students, that I see them struggle every day. and I would like to find articles that analyze and evaluate the reading and focus on the reading disability of the student, and hopefully they can provide us or provide me with strategies for that I could carry on in my classroom. I would also like to explore more ways to create an efficient learning environment for all of the students that have a reading disability. These are the 5 articles that I researched and I analyzed and evaluated, and I will be discussing one at a time. Okay, so article number 1 is Reading Comprehension for Students with Reading Disabilities, Progress and Challenges, and this article was written by Sharon Vaughn. So the article mainly focuses on 2 key concepts or 2 key topics. The first one is it examines the challenges and also the progress in improving reading comprehension for students with reading disabilities. And it also explores cognitive linguistic and instructional strategies supported by research. Some of the key themes in this article were decoding skills. It emphasizes the importance of developing strong decoding abilities in order for the student to develop comprehension. Another key theme was vocabulary knowledge. This article highlights how vocabulary impacts reading comprehension. And also it focuses a lot in individualized instruction. The article stresses the need for tailored teaching strategies to address specific deficits. In other words, adapt your lessons, adapt your curriculum based on the student's needs or disability. Some of the strategies that I was able to grab from this article was that teaching phonics is very important in order to build those foundational reading skills, and of course this should be done at a very early age. Providing differentiated instruction that targets individual needs, and enhancing engagement through contextualized and meaningful reading activities. Something that us as teachers and myself I can take away from this article is the emphasis they put on collaborating with specialists. It advocates for collaboration with specialists to support struggling readers, and that could be anywhere from a special ed teacher, a dyslexia teacher, the speech teacher. It also recommends the use of diagnostic assessments to guide instruction and monitor progress. Overall, this article provided me with actionable strategies, and it emphasizes the importance of personalized and research-backed approaches. Therefore, these strategies will be able to enhance reading comprehension for students with disabilities. The second article that I did some research on was New and Not Well Known Research About Reading Disabilities Teachers Want to Know. And this article was by Andrea Druckenmiller. So the focus of this article was the examination of reading disabilities. This article states that comprehensive examination of reading disabilities, particularly dyslexia and DLD, development language disorder, that's actually a new term for me. It focuses also on and highlights the need for early evidence-based inventions to develop word recognition and language comprehension skills. So some of the key themes in this article are early identification. It stresses the importance of identifying dyslexia and DLD, which is developmental language disorder, and detecting it at an early age using evidence-based assessments. Another important key point made in this article was instructional strategies. This article explores the efficacy of targeted approaches such as phonics and structured literacy tailored to individual needs. The article also, sorry about that. Okay, so the article also addresses misconceptions. It challenges myths and misunderstandings about dyslexia and DLD to improve awareness and support. It also talks about interdisciplinary insights, and this integrates research the article integrates research from cognitive psychology, education, and linguistics to inform practices. Another key topic in this article was equity and social justice. The article highlights systemic gaps and structural barriers in addressing reading disabilities, linking the issue to broader educational inequities. Some of the effective strategies for educators that we could take from this article, including myself, is implementing explicit instruction using phonics and structured literacy tailored to individual needs, early identification of reading disabilities through evidence-based assessments, and engaging in professional development to deepen understanding of effective literacy practices. As teachers, this article is very helpful. It talks about the impact on teaching. It encourages educators to integrate research-based practices and effectively address systemic inequities. And it also empowers teachers to create equitable learning environments, ensuring students with reading disabilities that they will reach their full potential. The third article that I did research on is assisted reading with digital audiobooks for students with reading disabilities, and this is by Kelly J. Estevez and Elizabeth Whitten. So the main focus of this article is that it examines the effectiveness of digital audiobooks as an intervention for students with reading disabilities. Some of the key findings of this article is that assisted reading with digital audiobooks significantly improves reading fluency compared to traditional silent reading. The article states that it's better if the student that is struggling with reading or has a reading disability will benefit more from listening to a audiobook that is being read by a professional voice, a fluent reader, rather than sitting down and giving them 15 minutes of doing silent reading, when most of the time, most of their energy is going to go to trying to decode word by word. Another important finding in the research done mentioned in this article is that fluency gains result from scaffolding provided by listening to fluent reading models while following the text. And hence, there comes the audiobooks, which are usually read in this is where the student has a model reading to them that is a fluent reader. The article also talks about the role of technology and how important it is in helping students with reading disabilities. Digital audiobooks provides an engaging and enjoyable alternative to traditional assisted reading methods. So instead of a human reading or doing an out loud, which that's me. I do a lot of read alouds in the classroom. They say that the article also mentions that technology helps differentiate instruction by tailoring interventions to individual student needs. Some of the strategies that teachers could implement using audiobooks is, for example, when we have students in an RTI, we can use the audiobook to target the readers that are struggling in reading as part of their RTI framework or RTI block. Also, another strategy is to encourage student self-selection of audiobooks to promote engagement and ownership of learning. In other words, they will more likely learn, and if they are reading something that they actually enjoy and they feel connected to. Another strategy mentioned in this article, or another strategy that we as teachers we can implement in the classroom, is to incorporate the audiobooks into a balanced literacy program, complementing direct phonics instruction with authentic literature exposure. So the takeaway that we can take as teachers from this article is that it also talks about the impact on teaching, and audiobooks allow educators to provide differentiated and scaffolded reading support. They also help struggling readers to develop fluency without overburdening their focus on decoding words. So instead of them reading silently, like I mentioned, or reading on their own and putting their full energy and getting frustrated and upset over trying to decode words, when they're listening to an audiobook, it's helping them when they're following along and listen to the words and how the words are correctly pronounced. So the fourth article that I'm going to talk about is assistive technology applications for students with reading difficulties, special education teachers' experiences and perceptions. And this is by Nordstrom. So the focus of this particular article, it explores the use of assistive technologies, specifically text-to-speech and speech-to-text applications for students with reading challenges. This, obviously, I am familiar with these two tools. We call them tools, we call them accommodations, because all of our students that are on an IEP that fall under the SPED umbrella, when they take the STAR test, this is a tool that they use, and it's offered to them where the questions are read to them. And for those that struggle with writing or putting their thoughts on paper, it also offers them the speech to text where they speak into their microphone and it types it up for them. So yes, these two tools, I do use them in the classroom. So some of the key findings in this article are that TTS and STT, text-to-speech and speech-to-text tools, significantly enhance students' ability to access and produce text. These tools improve student motivation and autonomy in text-based learning, though effectiveness varies by individual. It also mentions that younger students showed higher engagement, with 82% continuing to use after interventions compared to 47% of older students, suggesting early introduction promotes sustained usage. In other words, these tools are offered at all grade levels, but the sooner they begin to use them, the better it is for them, and the more effective it will be for them academically. The article also mentions and talks about the barriers of implementing the strategies of tools mentioned of technology. For example, limited resources and insufficient training for educators. I know that we didn't know, like when our kids were taking the STAR test, the tools were already available for students to use them, and we didn't find out till the next year. So they had a year where they could have used it, and we didn't know about it because we hadn't been properly trained on them, and we really were not familiar with those tools. Another barrier is the need for customized approaches to match individual student needs. So some of the strategies that I'm taking away from this article is that we need to assess individual needs. We need to learn, we need to be able to select the appropriate AT tools, AT assistive technology tools tailored to for specific challenges. Not all students have the same challenges, not all students have the same disability, and not all students are going to need the text-to-speech, and not all students are going to need the speech-to-text. Another strategy mentioned in this article that would help implement this tools, be able to help with these tools being implemented in the classroom, is educator training. Educators should be provided with a comprehensive training to effectively use these assistive technology, and also regular monitoring. The article stresses the importance of conducting regular assessments to track progress and gather feedback on assistive tools effectiveness. The takeaways from this article is that the assistive tools like text-to-speech and speech-to-text aligns with IEP accommodations for students in special educational programs. The article highlights the potential of assistive tools to empower students and foster independence, emphasizing the importance of early introduction and personalized implementation. So the next article is why some children have difficulties learning to read. And this was written by G. Reid Lyon. This article explores the various reasons behind children's struggles with reading and provides insights into effective instructional strategies. So some of the key concepts mentioned in this article is phonemic awareness. So phonemic awareness is the ability to recognize and manipulate individual sounds in spoken words, and it is essential for decoding. Another important term or topic in this article is fluency. Accurate and quick reading is vital for comprehension, as hesitant reading impairs understanding. So if they have good fluency, they're reading better, they'll be able to better understand what they're reading. But when their fluency is very low, they're gonna mostly focus on trying to decode the words instead of comprehending the actual reading or the text that they're using. Also, vocabulary and grammar. These are strong language skills, and they're foundational for interpreting and understanding text. Limited language exposure can lead to comprehension challenges. Some of the strategies that are offered in this article and that the teacher can implement in the classroom in order to help struggling readers is explicit phonemic awareness instruction. This would be focuses on activities that identify and manipulate sounds and words. Another strategy is systematic phonics instruction. This is consists of teaching letter-sound relationships in a structured way to improve decoding. Also, fluency practice using oral guided and repeated reading exercises to enhance speed and accuracy. A vocabulary development, introducing new words and context and fostering discussions to improve language skills. And of course, comprehension strategies. For example, teaching prediction, questioning, summarizing, synthesizing, making connections, all those techniques used to help understand more what they're reading. So how can we apply this in the classroom? Or how can teachers apply this in the classroom? Well, they can implement evidence-based structured reading instruction, addressing phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. Assess individual needs and tailor instruction accordingly to provide targeted support. And create a literacy-rich environment and foster a love for reading to engage students and address challenges holistically. So mostly this article emphasizes that by addressing foundational skills and individualizing instruction, educators can help students overcome reading difficulties and build a strong foundation for literacy success. Okay, so in conclusion, something that I'm taking away from all this research by researching these 5 articles is that reading disabilities are complex and require tailored instructional strategies for effective support. Not all strategies are going to be the same for all students with different disabilities or even students with the same disability. Not all strategies are going to be effective or are not made for all one student. So we really need to assess and find their weaknesses and their strengths and work on that and build from that and find the correct strategy to help them with a reading disability. Some common themes that I found across all 5 articles that they all were brought up and over again that seems to be pretty much uniform and applies to all articles are that foundational strategies, they emphasize phonemic awareness, systematic phonics instruction, fluency, vocabulary development, and assistive technologies. So strategies are very important, especially those that target phonemic awareness, fluency, vocabulary development, and also individualized instruction. That highlights the importance of differentiated approaches to meet diverse student needs. So pretty much all 5 articles had the same or argued the same point on individualized instruction and the importance of foundational strategies. And of course, barriers to success was mentioned in all 5 articles. These are the challenges. These challenges include limited resources and insufficient teacher training, which hinder equitable learning opportunities for the student. Articles also empower teachers to advocate for policy changes in order to improve resource allocation and collaboration among educators, families, and specialists to create a more supportive learning environment. So the impact of reading disabilities that students are having is that research provides a valuable guide for educators to bridge literacy gaps. By implementing research-based practices, teachers can boost the confidence and skills of students with reading disabilities, enabling their success across all academic areas. So basically, Other articles underline the importance of evidence-based, individualized strategies and systemic support in empowering struggling readers to achieve their full potential.